If you plan to have a relaxed breakfast, lunch or dinner, then this might be the wrong video for you, because there are so many close calls in this entire thing. It's horrible. It's one of the worst things I've ever worked on, maybe aside from the no power up 100% curse on Exdash on Green Acres. But this is next level. In case you don't understand what's going on, Toastie has 1 HP. If she gets tickled, she dies. Well, actually, she survives tickling. Just one tickle of a super weak enemy. And after that, she dies. If she gets hit again, if it's a stronger enemy, she instantly dies. The Banshee killed me so many times. I lost count of it. It's just insane. But the goal is to reach level 200. At 200, she gets 65,000 armor, which is enough to tank the death, not forever, but for quite a significant amount of time. But the main reason why I want to do it is because, well, it's a challenge to me, you know? So, my goal right now is I want to have 6 passive weapons. This might explain the choices that I'm doing, but I think this was one of the worst runs that I had. Not the worst, but not really good. Usually the runs I got this far used to go to 6 passive weapons at around 3 to 4 minutes, and I think this one was a bit late, but let's see in a second. Now, for you to understand, the best of the best, I explain this later on, or I talk about the reasoning later on, but the best of the best level players, they use Laurel on Toastie, and I don't do that. I don't use Clock Lancet, I don't use Laurel, not because I think it's bad, but because I know they are better than me. So the only way to get an advantage, the only way to actually get to 200 over them, because they stop around 180, is if I drop the Laurel and go for something else that helps me out. In this case I chose Garlic. It's amazing to farm early on, so overall really great. I think I'll do this again in the future, but just go for something else. I have a couple of weapons in mind that I'll do, but I'll just have to do it without Garlic. Like, if they don't have Garlic but Laurel and they reach the same level as I did, then that means I did something completely wrong. Either the problem is with Garlic, or, well, there are also a lot of mess-ups later on, so that could also be the reason, and maybe it is possible. Maybe this is how you get to level 200 with her, sorry. But yeah, I'm just looking for all the stuff. I made a decision here, I don't even know why, to not go for Labora. I know the reasoning was that I need to get my stuff together and get the empty tome as fast as possible, so I don't want to go for Labora. But the actual strategy, and I don't know how I messed this up, is I will either go for Spellbinder, Attract Orb, or Spinach. Like, whatever I get first, right? Like, one of those might be left out. Duplicator as well. The Duplicator as well might be left out. The only mandatory ones are a Crown and Skull. Those are the only 2 mandatory ones. How I didn't choose Attract Orb there when it showed up, I don't know. But me skipping that pretty much in my mind told me, yeah, no Labora this run. No idea why. Horrible decision. Hey, it's still a 180, okay? So it's still kind of exciting on what's going on. But I think with Labora, this could have definitely been done. Better playing could have definitely been done. But I'm almost 6 hours in, okay? My brain is goo. It doesn't exist anymore at this point. I don't even know how I'm still playing. Especially with a character like this. So, yeah. Fun fact, the minute 3 wave that is now spawning is the wave that killed me the most out of all of them. Like, whenever I got Skullomaniac, which, if you force a start with Song of Mana, it happens quite frequently, these guys killed me. Because I put so many levels into it, as many as I could, and if you don't have enough levels in Garlic, Spinach and Song of Mana, you can't kill these anymore. Like, I can't kill them with Garlic either way, but even Song of Mana is too weak at that point to deal with them, and it's just horrible. And I'm a person, I try to maximize, you know, min-max. So whenever I see that Song of Mana is going out and dealing damage, I want to walk through them as long as its duration is lasting. But it's a bit hard to tell. Like, sometimes you still see the animation, you're like, yeah, it should still deal damage. No, it didn't. You just died because you touched an enemy. And yeah, I think these guys, they also take 2 hits to kill me, but it's yeah. In this run, I think I was a bit more precise. I mean, I must have been more precise, otherwise I would have died. But I guess also having Song of Mana level 6 here is insane. I had times where this was level 3 at this point, and it was not a lot of fun to do that. But yeah, So, just for you to understand, the stuff that I'm going for, or rather the priority system, as I said, 6 passive weapons, I don't care about anything else. I just want to have the 6 passive weapons and get the empty tome. If I don't have that before 6 minutes, it's really rough. It's not even because you need it for the 6-minute wave, but once you hit 6 minutes, it's really hard to collect all the 4 empty tomes on the map. So I want to do that before that, and at minute 7 you can't collect anything at all anymore, and 8 and 9 are the 2 waves that you really want to farm on, to get all of your levels, to get everything prepared for evolutions, for minute 10, that you can evolve something, and yeah. So here, what also often happened in a moment like this, I would just run into the empty tome right away, because I'm like, oh god, I can pick up the empty tome. It's like, yeah, okay, I got tickled and I died. Good job, Dex, for the 50th time now. I don't even know how many runs I did today. If you include the very first reset and deaths to the Banshee, probably a couple thousand. It sounds ridiculous, but like those resets are only a couple seconds long. Like we talk about 4 or 5 seconds maybe. And only a few runs went this far. I had an insanely lucky one where the minute 5 boss and the minute 8 boss both gave me a penta chest, and I messed it up. Most of these runs ended because I did something stupid. Like, I paused the game, and when you pause the game you don't see what's behind the pause menu, and I gamble pretty much on where I have to go. This happened a couple of times. Usually with Exdash and gold runs this is not a problem. Like, even if I get touched, like, who cares, right? I still have my Laurel shield, it's all good, I can freeze, I can run away. Here, that it doesn't exist. But yeah, so far, Song of Mana has super high level, super large area, insanely long duration with Spellbinder. Spellbinder is the one I'll drop, by the way, for Attract Orb. But yeah, insanely long duration. I can't drop Spinach. I really tried to drop Spinach. The problem is, my Garlic can one-shot the green blobbles and the ghosts later on if you have Spinach. If you don't have Spinach, you can't do that, and it becomes a thing of pretty much a near impossibility to kill anything in that wave. It probably still works if you have Garlic, if you have Song of Mana 8. Actually it should. Why would I go for Garlic then? Well, it has a lot more range, it's a lot faster. Like, if they get into Song of Mana and it doesn't kill them, then I have a very big problem as I keep walking, and then they kill me. I can't stand still. And you'll see this later on, standing still reduces the kill amount by so much, it's insane. But yeah, I think Garlic is the right call, but I might want to use it in a different way than I'm using it right now. That might be the alternative, like not to max it out or get it to a high enough level that it one-shots the guys that I already one-shot with Song of Mana. Also something very interesting, in runs like these you get to know so much about enemies. One thing I already said is with the Banshee, like with certain movement patterns you can actually force that she doesn't kill you as long as she's about to explode. But also that you walk through enemies that just died, the animation is still there so the other enemies can't fill the gap and you can literally walk through them, an entire line. What was it here? Oh yeah, Song of Mana. So Song of Mana has, I think, 2 level ups, 3 and 5, where, it might also be 7 as well, where it gains cooldown, that means it takes longer, right? That is not good. It takes longer, but for a longer duration. This has killed me so many times, it's unbelievable. Because I was so used to the basic cooldown that it has, and whenever it evolved, it suddenly took way longer, and I kinda want to be inside of or right in front of the enemies before it goes off. But then it didn't go off, because it took longer to go off. So that's very interesting, but generally speaking, the level 2 Song of Mana is actually so much better at killing enemies than the level 3, because it takes longer, the cooldown is longer. Yes, the duration is longer, but overall you kill less. It's more protection, it's a lot better, but not for killing enemies. Which is hilarious, you wouldn't expect that, right? A higher level weapon that it performs worse, but yeah. So overall, this wave here as well, minute 6, minute 7, not as bad as 3 and 4. In my case, how many times I died, but still very, very, very dangerous wave. I kinda managed to deal with them, with this diagonal walking, where I just walk diagonal, I focus on the guys, I just out of my eye. Like, I don't focus on the green stuff, I just look for green stuff. This is where I can walk, they get one shot, they can't harm me, while I mainly focus on the purple guys that can one-shot me. And I'm pretty sure these actually do one-shot me. It's not the tickling that I mentioned, they actually one-shot me. This wave is one I also hate so much. Most of the later waves are super easy. You got your stuff, nothing can really hurt you anymore, or you're just guaranteed to die if you get overrun. But this wave here, the boss here, the green blobble, if you play and move and keep an eye on stuff and make sure that you don't die, one of the worst bosses ever. It's so hard to see him when he warps in front of you, teleports in front of you, and walks with the entire wave. You might think, yeah, but like Dex, come on, he's ginormous, he's a big green blob, you should easily see him. No, no. If you play and you have all the animations going on and so many things that distract you, and you look for candles breaking, you look for all kinds of things, it's horrible. It's one of the worst things ever. In fact, in most of the runs where I got to this point, I spent a rosary just to get rid of him. Because I kept dying to him so many times that I was so frustrated, I said, yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice a rosary, otherwise I'll never get around to 30 minutes and see what I have to optimize. That is the main purpose of this video here, by the way. This is not a, yeah, 180 good enough, I throw the towel, I'm done. No, this is just, yeah, this current point. I will look at this video again in the future, and I'll make sure to see what went wrong, what went right. There are a lot of things that really scared me, where I was like, is 100% curse really possible? I mean, it is, obviously, but I think there were so many insanely close calls that in most other scenarios, you would just die. Where I just got insanely lucky. This is the next farm wave. Here I always want to have skull level 5, as well as for the one previously. I'm super duper late with this. It's still level 4 right now, and the wave is about to finish, and in minute 11 is one of the first big bumps. So it's like minute 3, minute 6 or rather 7, and then minute 11. Yes, those enemies, okay, not talking about bosses, those enemies are the worst ones. They are quite tanky. Usually they don't do any damage to you, like you don't care if they hit you, but here you just die, so that doesn't work. And that makes it insanely complicated to deal with that wave. I think the best way I've found is just standing still. If you have all the stuff maxed out, if you have Mana Jar, or even Song of Mana, to be honest, I honestly think Song of Mana is better than Mana Jar. As stupid as that sounds, Mana Jar has a longer or wider area that it covers, but it actually does have downtime. Song of Mana, as you can see right now, it just keeps going all the time. I'm protected 24/7. And when it comes back, like goes back to the middle to me, the next one already goes on, so it's like a double knockback that is applied to the enemies. And Mana Jar doesn't have that. In fact, I died in a couple of runs where I got Mana Jar evolved and that was my only real protection. So, I think I already mentioned it, Labora. I should have went for Labora. I realized I have no Attract Orb. I couldn't go for it at the end anymore. The last one that was missing, I was like, yeah, I can just go for Attract Orb. Oh, yeah, I need the skull. Never mind, I can't do it. So, GG, right? Still went for it because it was a decent run. Not the best one I ever had, but I just wanted to see what is the struggle later on. I pretty much know all the stuff about wave 1 to 11. Well, the later it goes, the less I've seen of them, but I know most of the stuff to compete with them, to deal with them. But I wanted to see how is it in later waves. What do I have to adjust? Like, it's great if I get to minute, let's say, 24, and at 24 I realize my entire build doesn't work. I just get overwhelmed, I just die. So I wanted to figure that out here. Oh boy, it's 5 AM right now. Oh yeah, I think I double leveled Empty Tome. That was a mistake. It's not the worst thing ever. I only lost 1 level, but it's still a lost level. I just saw Empty Tome and instantly locked it in, but yeah. So here I want to avoid maxing out the Lightning Ring. I want to max out the Axe. And after that I want to combine Vandalia, and after that I want to get the Thunder Loop. That was my train of thinking, what I wanted to have. Sorry for the break, and if that happens in the future, I have to yawn sometimes or cough. I just cut it out, hopefully, that I didn't forget that. Bad decks if you forgot that. But either way, yeah. I'm just looking where are the rosaries we can see on the top right. I think there are right now 3 rosaries in total, or there will be a future one. There's a freeze on top of me. This will be very useful in the future, but I think I pick it up at one point as safety measurement. And also here, I'm really scared of these guys. You might notice usually I'm really greedy, right? Every single time I play, I always go for max greed. In this run, no. In this run, I'm really cautious. I want to make sure that I make it to the end, that I can see, okay, where do I have to improve? what is missing to get to the 200. Is 200 possible? 100%. Guaranteed. This run had so many mistakes later on and so much optimization that you can do, especially with my Vandalia movement. Usually what you do with Vandalia, on the side that it's shooting, you walk there to hit more enemies, and then it goes to the other side, so you walk to the other side. I barely did that, because I didn't know how much I can do that in the waves. Like, for example, if I do that, do I then accidentally walk into an enemy? There will be no shield break, I'm just dead, right? So, I avoided that. I did it in ways where I was 100% certain they can't harm me, they can't kill me. But in a majority of the waves, especially those where you want to do it, it didn't happen. Also, another mess up that happened is I walked into a red gem that I didn't see. I think it was covered up, or I just was blind. And that gave me around 30 levels. 30 levels is a ton. The enemies pretty much had 1/3 more HP. It went from 90 to 120, which made them insanely difficult to kill. And I think that was the main reason why I nearly got overrun and nearly died. But there we go, we have Vandalia. The last weapon on the list is Pentagram. I did the timing surprisingly well. It was actually on point. Like, the moment the enemies were about to explode and disappear, Gorgeous Moon went off, and I saw all the experience drop, so it did work. And yeah, perfectly fine. It did work out. I'll explain it in a second once we get there. I think I actually show it off, what I do in Excel. But right now I'm just looking for a vacuum. There is one down there. And what I want to do next is I want to collect as much experience as I can over here to get Pentagram and max it out. Which only works if you actually do find Pentagram. And at this point I start panicking. I think I banish now. That is a bit too late. I should have done that way earlier. I banished common weapons, at least I think they were common weapons. That they get taken out of the pool, and it's more likely that I get my Pentagram. But it already looks really bad. So yeah. I only have 2 levels of Vandalia left, that is it. And once that's done, I think I have 2 more skips. Yeah, I do have 2 more skips, but once they are used, there is no more chance at Pentagram. So I really need that. Right now I'm just farming experience. I want to have as much experience as I can accumulated on the ground to pick it all up together to get Pentagram. The main goal with Pentagram is you want to have it last, and you want to pretty much have enough experience that you get to a level where it doesn't wipe out anything. And you have to do this away from your main stuff, right? Here are all of my rosaries. I don't want Pentagram to delete my rosaries. I want it to be off screen and just delete a bit of experience that just got dropped and nothing else. So now I'm just waiting, and here I go into Excel. No, I go into, yeah, calculator. And what was I calculating there? I gotta check because I just turned off the overlay. Oh, I was calculating my cooldown. So you can see I have, where is it? I have negative 35% cooldown, and Pentagram cooldown at the max is 60 seconds. So I calculated how long it takes. It's 39 seconds. And with that I can do my Excel sheet later and determine exactly when do I need to max out Pentagram. I don't want to evolve it right away. Maybe it is better. It could definitely be better, but I don't want to evolve it right away. Just that I don't get forced to pick up all the experience. And like, if you do that, then the enemies become so strong that you can't kill them anymore except with Pentagram. And while this works kind of on Christine, it doesn't really work on Exdash, since the cooldown is much longer, and you just get overwhelmed. But yeah, there we go. Well, this is not Exdash, it's Toastie. They look the same, okay? One is pink, one is teal, it's whatever. What else? At 25%, yeah, we are 25%. I think my luck is around 300% right now. So this 25% is actually already 100%. It's 25%. Oh no, I have 250% luck. I'm stupid, sorry. I forgot that I don't have Clover. It was not 100%, but the 45% is 100%. So there we go. This is now safe, and now I go into the Excel sheet. And I will do a quick calculation. So I wanted Gorgeous Moon to go off at 29 minutes and 58 seconds, which I mess up here at first, because I just wrote 29 hours and 58 minutes. And the duration of Gorgeous Moon to go off, like the moment you evolve it until it blasts off, is 11 seconds. and it always takes 39 seconds to get to the next blast off of Pentagram. So this is what I'm calculating next. I should type in the 39 seconds that I have in my calculator, and now I just subtract that from the timer that I know in this very moment, once it hits that timestamp, I have to max it out, so it's locked in. And there was a slight mistake. I have to lock the 39 seconds. There we go. And now I pull it down, and I think there's one at 16 minutes 16 minutes 8. Yeah, there we go. 16 minutes 8 or something. I can't really see it. It's a bit too tiny for me. This is where I want to max out Pentagram, which is amazing. Here's a vacuum. I can collect all the experience. I only need 2 levels to max it out. Then the cooldown doesn't change anymore, and I'm set for the game. The only other difficult part will be, so 16.8 is the goal, right? So we have 16.7. 16.7, good enough. It was 16.8, 16.7, but it was about to turn to 16.8 either way. So I think that was a very good timing. But yeah, the next difficult part with the Pentagram will be to evolve it spot on. Like the moment it blasts, I need to evolve it to Gorgeous Moon to make this all work. I don't really know why I didn't give myself a bit more time. I could have just subtracted 5 seconds, and Pentagram goes off 5 seconds prior, and then at the very end I just use a vacuum, right, to collect all the stuff. Not sure why I didn't do that, but it's okay. It could be worse. A 180 is still, like, insanely good, right? I know I often down-talk stuff that I do, and I think some people really dislike it, either because I constantly complain, or because if you have something that they are super far off, right? Like in gold record runs, if I get 27k and I keep on complaining about things that I do, but their best is 12k, then they are probably like, if he talks about his 27k like this, then how would he talk about my 12k? Which is not the case. Which is not the case. I have hundreds of hours invested into this game. I have a ton of experience with a lot of the things, and I have other expectations on me than I would have on anyone else, right? Especially in gold record runs that I focus on, that I do mainly. If I mess basic things up, I get really upset with this. I also get really upset if I have an amazing run, and I don't even get average luck, I get below average luck. This messes up a very, very top run, easily. Like, makes it horrible. So here we have the witches. Witches are super easy to deal with. They have a set 160 health, I think. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong witches. But this should mean they have 320 in total. Take a ton of knockbacks, super easy to deal with. The green blobbles are a joke. They are the same ones as we saw earlier, that we already defeated just with garlic alone. So it's not like they are gonna be a big threat to me. And right now it's pretty much just waiting for the bigger waves. I know this one I can take care of. Funny enough, I died to the witches at 16 minutes because I accidentally evolved Gorgeous Moon. Like, I evolved Pentagram to Gorgeous Moon, and I got mad about that. And I didn't realize that the timer switched to 16 minutes, and I kept walking with the 50-minute wave where you can farm the green blobbles all over the place. And I ran into a witch and died. Just a second. Alright, I'm back. Now we have the salad heads. Well, those are not the real salad heads, those are the cabbage heads. I have another clover here. Come on, pick it up. There you go. And the witches still. Witches, as we know, super easy to deal with. All I'm looking forward to is the minute 25. And you'll see, yes, it's justified to look forward to that. As in, being terrified. The dude at 100% curse is so fast. He nearly killed me. It was so close. Now, given, I do have a revive, right? So dying is okay, but I want to keep the revive until later stages, when I'm already level 100, and I get the bonus 9999 HP, right? So in total, like once you hit level 100, you get a hidden bonus of 9999 HP and a total of 10,000. Or I think it's 9998, and you have a total of 9999. So one shy of 10,000. So once you get that, you actually don't get the health. It only increases your max health, but not your current health. But what you can do, or if that happens, if you die, you revive with half of your health, which is 5k, nearly. That is amazing, right? So this is why I want to keep the revive. Just because I get the 10k, doesn't mean that I have 10k health. In fact, I don't have it. So I want to keep that. Here you can see I do a little bit of Vandalia movement, but I'm so concerned. Like, we just hit 20 minutes, so I'm still really concerned what to do. I was unsure if these can push through or not. It seems to be simple, but at the same time, do you see how far they suddenly push in? Like, if I just look at them while the Vandalia hits them, it looks like, oh yeah, they die rather quickly. I can just move to the left, to the right, and stuff like this. And suddenly you bump into one, and you die 20 minutes in. The one thing I didn't want to happen, I didn't want to do, that I didn't want to see in this game is dying now. I want to get to the end, and I want to see where do I struggle. Just to justify why I'm barely moving. Which, again, amazing thing, right? You can optimize this in the future, I can optimize this in the future, and I can improve on my level score by that. And I think each wave where I would do that, I would probably get 1 to 2 more levels, I would say. Maybe not, maybe it's not that much, maybe I overestimated, but I would say maybe like a total of 5 levels just by better Vandalia movement. Maybe another 5 just by having Labora. Do not underestimate Labora. I don't even know why I say that, because I'm the one who did pick it. Okay, accidentally. But Labora is insane. It stacks on top of each other and deals an insane, absurd amount of damage. Even against the wave 29, it's crazy. It's pretty much the only thing that keeps killing them consistently. So not having that is really bad. Not having that and still reaching 180, amazing. I'm looking right now, what would I opt out? Oh yeah, the Death Spiral, of course. Yeah, that one. Labora also helps a lot with enemies that have knockback resistance, like the boss at 25 minutes, because every single hit you do against an enemy makes them stutter. And that is also something funny that you can use on the wave at minute 0. If you have garlic, you can actually not push them back, but make them stutter, just by hitting them with your garlic, and you can get through gaps where you would think you would have died. I think I just checked if the timing is right. It was 21:59 and it was spot on. So I'm like, yay, super happy. All this looking good. And now you can see on my top right there is the NFT and a freeze. This is the perfect combo. This is what you want to have for the boss at 25 minutes. A freeze so he can't move anymore. And an NFT that you blast into his face. I only make a slight mistake. We'll see that in a second. But what you want to do is you want to have VFX effects turned on. You want to know how long the Orolokolong lasts, the freezing thingy, to know how long can you blast at him and when do you have to step away. And I activate this after I pick up the freeze, which is way too late. The animation is not playing at that point, so you don't know when it will go off, or when it will stop freezing the enemy. Not good. Like another thing where I nearly died. There were a couple of these things. And yeah. So right now the witches again, but this time the broom witches. Super easy to deal with, as you can see they just catapult away, really not a big danger. The only problem here would be that they get catapulted away so far that instead of getting killed, they despawn. But it's looking good, you know, no big threat. Is a very good signal for me for the 24-minute wave where only these witches spawn, that I can most likely deal with them. Just a second again. And I'm back. Oh boy. That's looking good so far. Like right now I'm still level 91. That's fine. You know, it's a reasonable level to max out everything. I think maybe in the future I should level up a bit less. Just looking around, seeing all the chests, it might just be better to keep Pentagram. You can't really keep Pentagram at a lower level, right? The reason why I'm saying that is, every single chest that you see here, oh, I just realized I'm about to talk, sorry. Okay, back to live decks. Enjoy. Oh boy, I don't know if you can see that. This session has been 6 hours. Only this session. It's not the only one. Since we started playing that on the stream to get Toastie to 200, I've been sitting on that, trying to get her to 200. Without Laurel, without Clock Lancet. That is the goal. Other people that I saw reach really high values like 180. They always use Laurel, and I figured if the best level players do not get to 200, at least yet, and they use Laurel, the only way for me to do this is, well, you know, if I'm not as good as them, then I have to do something different. And the choice was drop Laurel, don't use Clock Lancet, go full out on damage. And yeah, this is where we are right now. I'm dying. inside. I don't want to continue. Okay, this is what I save for. This is what I save for. Come on, come on, come on. I need to know a timer. Sorry. Oh, I don't see anything. This is about to unfreeze, isn't it? There's another one. Did I die? I'm not sure. Oh, I picked up all the experience. Oh, this is horrible. Yeah, because now I'm gonna level up a bunch of times, like a lot of times. And this will make all the enemies super duper strong. Okay, he is defeated. That is good. I'll get into position. What happened to my... Oh, I reached level 100. Right. Is that good or bad? I think I can't beat these. Well, that is bad. I haven't thought that far, to be honest. I didn't consider that I might not be able to actually kill the guys here. Okay, so I'll use the NFT to give me some room. Aside from that, I honestly don't know what to do. I have no idea. If I can't defeat them, then I'm lost. Okay, I have to get rid of this again. I have one emergency plan, which is picking up all the levels that are up there. You might think, why is this an emergency plan? Well, I get a ton of health, and I'm invulnerable until I kill them, but it looks like they are gone. Well, the main question will be, do I manage to somehow survive this? It looks really bad, I gotta be honest, it looks insanely bad. Like, as in, not this wave. This wave also doesn't look too good, but for the wave 29, minute 29, I don't think I can deal with them. And this will be a huge problem for me. A ginormous problem, in fact. I also lost the rosary down there. Not the end of the world, but also not what I would like to see. And I have to get the timing very, very right with the Gorgeous Moon. The way I set it up, if the cooldown is the same on this character as it is on Christine, as in the time it takes for Gorgeous Moon to go off after you evolve it, which should be the same, right? That shouldn't be influenced by cooldown, that should just be the animation time. Then it should take 11 seconds, and Pentagram will go off at 29:47, and then I immediately the moment I see the blast, I evolve, and then I will... Yeah, the moment I see the blast, the moment I see the enemies dead, I will go for Gorgeous Moon and I'll run into the enemies. Oh my god! Hopefully get the blast off. Okay, this is horrible. This is the most defensive build I've had in a very, very, very long time. The problem is this character lacks a lot of things. Speed, duration, cooldown. It is abysmal. It is horrible, right? And I have, right now for you to understand, I have 100% curse. This is the max in the game. This might have been a mistake, that this character is so weak that you just can't go for 100%, you have to go for less. You just can't defend it. Like, I have Garlic, I have Mana Jar, I have Vandalia, which helps with knockback somewhat. I don't have Labora. That was not really an active decision, it was a back and forth all the time. Like, do I want to have Labora, do I not want to have Labora? I really want to have it, but it's so hard to get to this point without Laurel and Clock Lancet that I said I have to drop the Attract Orb. The Attract Orb is the problem, not the Labora, the Attract Orb. But now I'm missing a ton of damage hits on the enemies to kill them. And, I mean, a main reason why I can't kill them as efficiently is also because now I'm level 120, right? It would be a lot easier to kill them and take care of them, but now they have a lot more health, and yeah, I don't know what to do. Now, the good thing is, I do have 10,000 health in total. So if I do die, I respawn with 5k health. But just as fast as other characters die with 100 health, that health will disappear in seconds if I get constantly attacked. So it's not like a saving grace, right? I don't have Clock Lancet, I don't have Laurel to constantly help me out. It will just be my death sentence if that happens. Okay, there we go. Ugh, I'm just gonna do it. I can't wait for this. I have too much on my mind that I need to do. Okay, let's go, come on, come on. I hope they are about to be unfrozen, it would be insanely good. If not, which I don't expect, then I have to do something else. So let's do this, and over here. That is not a lot, I think. Oh god. I think those were all. I have to quickly check the timing that I didn't get this wrong. 29:47, it should go off. I have to be on point with this. If I'm not on point, if it's even just like 2 seconds later, everything fails. So this should go off in 3 seconds. Now. Okay. Okay, I think I did it. Oh my god. Now the question is, will this really only take 11 seconds, or is it somehow longer? I think it's too slow. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh my god! Oh. No, wait. Why am I so low? I think, oh my god, I think I should be so much higher. Oh no, this is not enough for 200, is it? Because I already collected a ton of experience. Oh, come on. Oh, this was so not worth it. Yeah, this is definitely not, no. No. I needed more rosaries, I needed better timed rosaries. I messed up the rosaries in the end, like a lot. I'll work on this. I'll try to improve that. That was still a very amazing run, but I have enough of this. I think I'll switch to Laurel or something and try there because people have reached over 180. So yeah, I hope you still enjoyed it.